Play an angel, Gabriel, and I'm just trying to. He wants to save a lost soul. He wants to do more, and so he's doing his best, trying to help people. It was just fun. I mean, I was working with masters, with Aziz and Seth, and Keke Palmer's amazing, and Sandra is fantastic. So I was just really in great company. We had a wonderful script to work with, and Aziz is a great director. Well, I mean, Aziz kind of looks good, and I think the idea of being able to laugh together is great. You know, the theatrical experience of being in the same place at the same time, focused on something. I think that shared experience feels good and is important.
I'm used to it because I did it on my series for Netflix, so that was like my training ground to kind of wear all these hats. And you know, Seth and I have talked about this because he does a similar thing with the studio, and it's like kind of becomes like streamlined. It makes it a little easier in some sense, but it's definitely has its exhausting attributes as well. But I had such a great team around me, and they all held me up, and I had a wonderful cast and crew with me, so it was all great. I just seeing Sandra's photo over there, and when I was writing the movie, she was in the back of my head. I was like, oh, that would be awesome. And you know, Keke was in my mind too, and to have both of them in there, it's incredible. Because he runs this whole operation with me, and he's not supposed to do that. He's only supposed to stop people from texting and driving. And he disobeys his orders and goes rogue, and then loses his wing, and he's forced to become human after he's fired. Sandra plays Keanu's boss, Martha. She's like the head, like a managerial force in the angel community. And she's the one that kind of is responsible for like saying, okay, you're ready to move on and get bigger wings and all this kind of stuff. Because you can't like sit at home and like watch a stand-up. I don't know. I do stand-up, and I just see the power of a crowd laughing together. And I remember going to movies like Anchorman and 40-Year-Old Virgin and Superbad and Pineapple Express and all these movies and laughing with the crowd. And I think it's something we haven't had in a while. And I've been there with the crowds we've screened it for so far, and they're going crazy, and our reviews have been great, and I feel like it's a fun night out, and we can't forget about the movies.
The script, the cast, and the opportunity, honestly, to play an angel. I thought it was going to be fun. Yeah, I thought it was going to be fun. You know, to be able to enjoy scenes with Keanu. But really, it was Aziz in his script. I think it always has to do with what is the story, what is the script, what are you wanting to say? And I think, you know, hopefully this film will land just right for a lot of people. It's a nice film. You'll have a nice time, you know, and you'll enjoy yourself. Yeah. Martha is really essential to Gabriel's she's pushing him off into his storyline because he wants something that I think many, many human beings want, is I want more. I want more purpose, I want more meaning, and I want to be able to help more. And the way that she just kind of pushes him off, and also, you know, tries to help him understand that there are, it's not rules, but it's like you do have a job as an angel, and you need to kind of, that the way that she writes him is also very important for his storyline. She's his senior, and like, you know, is trying to put him on the right track. It can be timely, but it's always, you know, in some ways it's like it's universal. It's like there's a lot of films and television shows that are about class that are set like 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago, and it's very much of a class that we can't really get right into, because it's not the person who's actually delivering our food, right, or helping us out there, or, you know what I mean. It's removed because people are in costumes and you can't really get into it. That's why I like, you know, this, obviously the setting is very now. There's a lot of people who are doing gig work, and there are the disparity between, you know, those I don't want to call them the 1%, the 0.5%, and the 99.9% is very high. And I think to be able to enter into that conversation as many different ways as possible is a good thing. Oh, because communion, you know, it's like, there's so many ways that we're all separated right now, but I hope people remember, it's like when you come into a room with a bunch of people, just like with theater, you get a different sensation that you just cannot get anywhere else. And to laugh with a bunch of people is a special feeling.
Oh, I think it's just you have this shorthand. I mean, we've been working with each other for so many years, like you said, got to be a couple of decades now. Parks and Rec and Master of None, and with every kind of idea, if he has something that's even just a kernel of an inkling of a wisp of an idea, he'll call me, and then we just talk about it. And for this one, he started writing pages, and then sending me scenes, and so I was kind of there from the beginning to now. And I just really am proud of him. First huge big movie, and he got the biggest movie star in the world, so congrats to all of us. All of the above. I mean, like, we joke, like, hey, Aziz, for your first movie, we're going to surround you with the most likable human beings in the world. Not just actors, like human beings. And I got to say, like, they live up to it. I mean, Keanu has all these memes about him, about what a nice guy he is, and, what a sweet human being is, but he lived up to it. I mean, it's just like, you work with him, he comes to set, he's professional, he's just sitting there ready to do his scene, asks for advice when he needs it, and it was really excellent. And Sandra I've known for a while. People like to laugh in big groups, and that energy is infectious. Of course you can watch things all home, alone, while you're looking at your phone, doing a million things, doing work, doing your dishes, but give yourself a treat. But we want comedies to stay alive because it's one of those things where you're experiencing joy as a community. You're experiencing joy with other human beings. And I also think that there is a, not a strong message in this. Like, we want to have people take away their own conclusions, but there certainly is a story to be told, and it's a relevant story. And I think you're right. It's a sweet movie. I think it ends with a positive outlook. So that's important.
Peter. So Peter sort of is emblematic of like everything problematic that wealth can bring you. And so he's a colleague of Seth/Aziz's in the movie, and he's basically not the guy you want to hang out with morally, but he is the guy you want to hang out with monetarily. And I had fun dipping into that. I think that we're all feeling the separation of wealth in this country and how it affords a lot of people opportunities, and not just because they work harder. I think the most hardworking people in this country are the people that make the least. And I think that it's about time we have a piece of mainstream comedy that really tackles that, because I believe that as comedians and as writers and as satirists, we need to be taking on the real problems. And so I'm really proud to be a part of a movie that does that, because I think that it's rare now to see something with teeth and with heart and with still an emphasis on the comedy. So really, really proud to be a part of something that does just that. He's great. I really think that Aziz is obviously such a talented writer and performer, but as a director, he's very assured. He really wants what he wants, and he had a really good group of people around him that he's worked with for a very long time that all speak the same language. So it was great to be on a set that had like a common goal. A lot of words didn't need to be spoken sometimes. It was just like, we know we're going again, and then when they got it, it was like everyone felt really good. So the vibes were very good on set. Very good.
Well, I think it was Aziz. I love that his writing comes from kind of real life. I think knowing Aziz and a lot of the projects that he's been involved with, you kind of see that in the projects that he's involved with. I also love an LA film. We were talking a little bit about LA, but I watch a lot of films from like LA in the 70s and the 80s, and I think making a film in Los Angeles today is kind of like a novelty. Everything's made not in LA, even though it's supposed to be in LA or New York. So the fact that it was an LA-based film, directly pulled from kind of our friendship and how we interact, was really special. So I couldn't say no. I play myself. So I'm a vintage watch dealer in real life. I travel the world and I source vintage horological objects. So in my scene, I'm helping Jeff acquire a 40th birthday present, which is not that uncommon for me to do. So, and then in the film, there's watches all throughout the film. So instead of using prop watches and things like that, we actually use real watches for the film. So that's pretty special and cool.
And you said you have a relationship with Aziz.
Yep.
So what was it like working with him on set?
It's pretty normal. I mean, it was kind of just like an average Tuesday, to be honest. So it was pretty great, pretty easy. It was really fun. Most definitely. I think this is a film that you need to see in the theater. I mean, the experience of going to the theater, having popcorn, struggling to find parking. I think that's something that we don't remember. As a kid, I remember that, and it was like a big deal to go to the movie and to watch the previews and get the popcorn and do all that kind of stuff. Now everybody kind of just waits for it to come out and stream it. So the fact that this is in theaters and I in a way, I think the film was kind of maybe created to be viewed in a theater. So I definitely think it's important to see this one in the theaters for sure.
It was really good, but I was a little confused at first, but then turnout was really good. I had a blast. It was a great time. It was good. It was good. Good surprise. Well, my plan is to pay some bills down, and that's about it. To help my kids, and we'll be good. I will. I'm going to do something good for myself. I am. I worked there for 35 years. 35 good years, and it's been great. I do a pantry at my church. That's one of my things that I do. Calvary United Methodist Church in the Bronx, and I'm really a good commuter. I'm really good with my neighbors, and I do help out in my pantry, my friends, and my church family. That I love to do, most of all. Of course, Keanu Reeves, of course, #1 guy. I'm here to see him tonight. Oh, he's awesome. Great actor. Great personality from what I see. Yes, thank you so much. I'm really pleased and honored to be here. Something that's really great. I will enjoy, actually. So, and thanks be to God, #1 guy in my life.